嗨，大家好。今天我很开心。昨天和今天我说了中文。嗯，昨天我去吃中国菜。嗯我说了好久不见。最近你怎么样？他说了，很好，你呢？我说了不错。嗯，then 我说了我要 General So Chicken。他说了饭吗？我说了白饭。他说了 Very good。So I'm just feeling very happy today because, I talked in a recent video about how I generally don't feel rushed to speak. And I think that relative to a lot of people, I probably begin speaking later in the process. There are lots of people who are big fans of sort of speaking from day one, this kind of thing. But my personal sort of philosophy and where I just simply feel comfortable is I do a lot of input. And although I do a tremendous amount of output, but it's mostly sort of controlled output. It's repeating things. It's like constructing sentences very purposefully in my head in a sort of controlled environment of, okay, this is my sentence structure. 我吃饭, right? So like I think in the beginning I was saying that a lot. I would say 我要吃, and then people would say 你要吃饭, right? Because they'd be like, you have to have this complementary word to go with the verb. So you get the idea, right? I would be saying things like 我要去, I don't know, 我要去公园, 我要回家. Right, so these very simple sentences. So the point is that I do actually do a lot of output, but it's just not this sort of free, creative, expressive output that we do when we speak in a natural situation. And I said in a recent video about how what I tend to do is I just keep going and going. I keep doing lots and lots of input, growing my vocabulary, learning more structures, seeing more and more of the language, until eventually I just feel ready to speak. And recently I've been talking to one of my friends about how, I'm starting to get this urge, like, to express myself. It's naturally sort of coming up and I'm wanting to say things. And I'm finding myself as I walk around making sentences on my own. But it still wasn't quite to the point that it reached yesterday, where you might think that this would be kind of obvious, but I realized, I haven't actually ever really tried to order my food in Chinese or things like that. There's plenty of opportunities here. And it just happened. It was the most natural thing. It wasn't planned. I didn't go to this Chinese restaurant with the goal of speaking, but as soon as I walked in, that's when it just occurred to me. I just naturally wanted to say something in Chinese. So the first thing, and I hadn't been there for a while, so I said, 好久不见. Right? And then the guy lit up, because he'd seen me before, but he didn't know I was learning Chinese. And then, when I said, 你好吗? And he said, I think, probably they're not sure exactly how much you know, but there's definitely something to be said for having a very confident first window of interaction. And so when you say 好久不见,你好吗? Like, maybe my tones are not good, or maybe, but there's a confidence there, right? And so they're happy to respond confidently too. Like, 很好,你呢? And so when I say 不错, right? I think very often when people learn Mandarin, maybe they learn like 你好吗? 很好,你呢? Right? So even just responding with some variety, 不错, I think really helped. And then, but the funny thing is, I didn't have a plan. So as I went in to sit down, and then as I realized, I don't even know, how do you order food in Chinese? You start to build up intuition more and more quickly with new languages. So I just sort of guessed that it's probably not this polite sort of may I have or can I have. I figured it's probably just I want. So I just said 我要, and then I actually didn't even know what I wanted. I just said General So Chicken because it was the first thing. And then it was actually, it's so simple, but the coolest part I think was when he said 饭吗 or 饭吗, right? And I said 白饭. Because, by the way, I don't actually remember what the tones are for that particular word. But the reason is that because, remember, there's no plan here. And so I actually would never have actually even thought about what will he ask next. So even though it's the simplest thing, when he said "fan ma," the fact that I understood it and was able to just respond quickly with "bai fan," and then he's very good. You know, he got so excited. It was just wonderful. And so this is the perfect example of what I was talking about. How it just I don't rush myself, and it naturally just sort of happens one day. I'm not saying my Chinese is great. I'm not saying I wouldn't even claim to speak Chinese by any means right now. I would nowhere near saying I speak Chinese. But it's just to say that I now finally have reached a sort of critical mass where I can say things, right? And you saw in that story I told at the beginning of this video, by the way, zero preparation. I literally just walked in my apartment, no preparation at all. And so you'll notice I wasn't able to really sort of connect the sentences. I wasn't able to say like, and then this happened, and then this happened. I was very limited to just saying, 我说了, 他说了. Like, I'm not even sure if that's the correct way to say, like, he said, I said. But the point is, I was able to just say things and communicate a story, right? And I think storytelling, we talked about narration and narrative and storytelling and language learning and how powerful that is. At the end of the day, we just want to get to a point where we can tell stories, because everything can be sort of boiled down to a story at the end of the day. And so today, I was walking back from a coffee shop. I've been studying lots of design stuff this weekend because I just did a final interview yesterday, on Friday, for a company. And it's been an absolutely, truly exhausting 3 months, 4 months, especially the last week or two, doing just nothing but programming, studying. And I've done my Chinese every day. But so I thought to myself, you know what? I'm on a roll. Like I did a good amount of Chinese study this morning. Asimil is going so well. I'll talk about that in a different video. There's so much to talk about. But I was like, you know what? I just wanted a bunch of vegetables, to be honest. Like I tend to eat just lots and lots of vegetables, and usually some kind of rice with that. So I just stopped in a different Chinese restaurant that I also hadn't been to for a while. And I went in, and it was a lady I'd never seen before. And I said, I don't know, I didn't know what to say. I just said, 你好吗? And, same thing. She said, 很好, 你呢? And so I tried to change it up. I said, 还好. And then, you know what? I was like, I wonder what. So she was like, give me 1 minute. I think she said something like, 等你一下, or 等一下. So, and I knew that meant wait a minute. So while she was doing that, I grabbed my phone and I tried to look up what is eggplant. I love eggplant. And then I saw it was like 茄子. Sichuan 茄子. It was like Sichuan eggplant on the menu. So I just made it up. No idea what even the correct way to say Sichuan is, or like, I don't know the word order, but I just guessed. So I said to her, look at the menu, and I was like, 我要 Sichuan 茄子. And then she was like really excited, and she started asking me questions, and to be honest, I didn't understand everything she said. There's another skill you gain from being a polyglot, which is getting very good at sort of being able to remain in the conversation, even if you don't actually understand everything being said, without letting the person know, which can be good and bad, but it can be a good skill, just to kind of get you through a conversation long enough for the person to not like lose confidence that you're understanding. And she was so nice, and then she wrote on the menu, she wrote the characters for eggplant and for white rice. It was just really nice. And so she was like, 茄子. Now I might be saying it wrong, but I believe it should be around that, like 茄子. So it was so cool to just say, 我要 Sichuan 茄子和白饭. Yeah, it was just so nice. She started asking me some questions. And then I noticed they brought me this like way bigger bowl of rice than usual. Usually they give me like a huge amount of vegetables and stuff, and then there's this like really small bowl of rice. So it's really hard to like make the rice last. But they gave me a bigger bowl of rice. She brought me soup and a tea, like much more than what I usually get there. I wrote a message on the receipt. I noticed that she wrote the receipt in Chinese for me, and then like I wrote like, I think it was like 很好吃. 谢谢. Also, in my Asimil course this morning, I learned a phrase, what is it? I think it's 好像, which is like it seems. So when she brought the food, this might not be the natural thing to say, but I said 好像好吃. And then she got really happy, and then she said something else to me that I didn't fully understand. So I just wanted to make that quick video just to celebrate that small win, because I always talk about this, how I think we should always celebrate our small victories in anything we're doing, not just language learning. But this is a big deal. It's a big step, and you just watch. From now on, I'm just going to be like, I've reached that point at a just very natural, comfortable pace. It just clicked. So I think this is why I love documenting everything I talk about, everything I advise, everything I say. I try to document it myself doing it in real time. And this is why, because you get to share this moment with me. I just walked in. I didn't even know what I was going to say. Hopefully it wasn't too bad. I'd love some feedback on my pronunciation and how it was. And there we go. So happy language learning. Wow, I'm just so pumped. I'm ready to learn some more words and go back out. I also, oh my god, I have so much to sort of tell you about. I bought these, which are graded readers in Chinese. So I got like a bunch of these graded readers. I can't wait to start reading soon. Asimil's going great. I'm still doing my Chinese podcast. Like, there's just so much to tell you about. So lots of new videos coming very soon. Anyway, for now, thanks for watching. If you like this video, please subscribe, like, leave me a comment. And if you're interested in my book, go to kumabrand.com/shop, where you can learn all about that and how to maintain languages. So, see you in the next video. 再见.